Hey guys, OG Albino here, bringing you guys my GDL Season 1 Week 4 team builder versus John Jr. and his Portland Nightshares. John is a very, very good friend of mine in the community. Definitely go check him out if you want to see some great high-quality content, especially from the draft league perspective side of things. Go watch his side of the match, all that good stuff. Definitely recommend it. But yeah, I do want to jump right into the team builder. I'm about to be playing the match soon, so I'm kind of crunched for time. So we're going to jump right into the matchup right here. Our team, if you did forget, consists of Gengar, Cinderace, Rotom-Mow, Araquanid, Avalugg, Kingler, Togekiss, Galarian Stunfisk, Haxorus, and Scrafty, with our Dynamax captain being the Kingler, while our opponent's team is up on your screen down in the bottom, right around the middle / like left area, the portion of the screen there. It's going to be the Mamoswine, Rotom-Wash, Bronzong, Flygon, Pangoro, Unfezant, which is his Dynamax captain, Toxtricity, Rillaboom, Mimikyu, and Heatmore. Very, very, very scary team. Right off the bat, some big threats to me in particular. Mamoswine can be incredibly scary. Rotom is annoying for our team to pivot into, just like every team ever. Just the combination of water and electric as it stabs makes it very obnoxious to deal with. And it's pretty bulky. It can take on most things on our team pretty well, especially our Dynamax captain, so I definitely expect Rotom to come here. We have the Bronzong, which can be a little bit annoying. Flygon, if it gets up like a DD and our Avalugg gets a little chipped, that can also be incredibly scary. But other than that, I think we can handle things. Oh, Mimikyu. Mimikyu is terrifying. We don't deal with Mimikyu super, super well, so we're going to have to play around that correctly. But other than that, I think we deal with our opponent's team pretty well. We have some really big offensive threats versus them. And if you look at John's team, you will notice he does not have removal outside of Unfezant, and I don't think he's going to want to fit on Defog on his Dynamax captain if he brings it. He definitely could, but it's something I tend to try and, I'm going to try and take advantage of here. As you're going to see, we're actually going to be bringing webs for the first time. We're bringing pretty much hard offense with a couple bulky pivots and webs, which is going to be pretty fun here. I'm excited for it. But yeah, let's just jump into the first one. Speaking of wall breaking, you're going to see a Haxorus on your screen. We're rocking out with max HP, max attack, max speed, leftover EVs in defense, Jolly Nature, Life Orb, Mold Breaker, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, First Impression, and Shadow Claw. Our Haxorus is phenomenal in this game. The Mold Breaker lets us break through the Mimikyu's disguise and like Oko with Shadow Claw, which is really, really nice, and we can take a +2 Shadow Sneak pretty comfortably. So that's obviously really nice to be able to break through that thing, and it won't like obviously allow it to set up on us, which is something you think he might be able to do. First Impression is just good priority in general to pick off some like pretty scary threats like the Rillaboom if he's Scarf, the what do you call it? The Unfezant if he gets low enough, the Pangoro could be nice for. Stuff like that, just a nice, priority option to guaranteed outspeed something, knock it out potentially. The Mamoswine and the Flygon are probably the main two recipients of that, though, that I'm really thinking about that for. Dragon Claw hits his team very hard just for stab, and then Earthquake is obviously to hit stuff like Rotom and Bronzong while they are levitating, which is also really nice, as well as the Toxtricity hits the Heatmore super effectively. This thing just covers his team incredibly well. I didn't really want to go setup because I don't see too many opportunities to set up, and he has a Mamoswine that pretty much always forces us out in the back. However, without that, I think Haxorus does kind of go crazy here. So we should be okay with just rocking out with a 4-attack Life Orb set, especially if we can get up webs. This is honestly, even without setup, a really good win con. It Oko's the majority of his team after rocks, which is pretty insane how strong this on is versus our opponent. I'm really hoping it does the work. Next up, we have our Avalugg rocking out with the Heavy Duty Boots own tempo ability because Sturdy is not released, unfortunately. We have Avalanche, Body Press, Recovery, and Rapid Spin, max HP, 212 defense, and 44 speed def with a careful nature. Now, Avalugg, we live 2 heat waves from a mixed Unfezant, which is actually pretty big. This thing does have access to Heat Wave, which is probably its best way of hitting our Avalugg, which is obviously going to be our main check to it because of how bulky Avalugg is and the fact that, boosted Avalanches coming off are going to do a metric ton to that thing. It's not going to appreciate them at all, even if it is in Dynamax form, and we just have to, obviously chip it down and stuff like that, which is going to be our main goal here. Avalugg takes it on pretty well, though, I won't lie. We'll be able to pretty much take any one hit from it, even if it is like a max fire in the sun. We'll take it very easily, especially being, well, not very easily. We'll take like 80-ish%, I think the calc is, from like a mixed Life Orb one, which is fine, though, because we're not taking any rock chips, so as long as we keep this thing relatively healthy, we should be good. Body Press is just good coverage for things like the Mamoswine, which is obviously really nice, the Pangoro, which is really nice as well, because we can shoot a hit from that pretty much always. We can use to at least get some kind of chip damage off of a Bronzong, but Bronzong is a pretty free switch into this, so we do have to keep, be ready for that. And then we have Rapid Spin just to get away rocks for the rest of our team. It could be pretty nice. you know, in a situation where he gets up rock with his Bronzong or something like that, which I actually think is his only rocker. So that's really nice knowing with the Bronzong, if it comes, it's like, oh no, he has Mamoswine too. So we'll be able to spin on both of those pretty freely. Bronzong less so, especially if he's special, but we should be able to spin nonetheless. Oh, and I forgot to mention on Hackstress, or max speed, so we also need a max speed Vivecue. I know John Speed Crepes, obviously, he's a good player, but I didn't really see a reason in risking it just to get a little bit more HP. And we still take the same hits if we need to, so I just want the really safe creeping max speed Mimikyu there. But yeah, next up we have our Kingler, rocking out the Wakan Berry, Sheer Force ability, knockoff, liquidation, X-Scissor, and Swords Dance with 124 HP, 132 attack, and 252 speed with a Jolly Nature. Now this thing is actually really good, especially if we can chip down the Rotom. We can actually do really well this game. Once we get up webs, things are looking phenomenal for us, as we have the Wakan Berry so that we can guarantee a bit of hit from the Rotom, especially in our Dynamax form, and potentially throw off a +2, like, you know, Max Dark or Max Bug or something like that, which can honestly be really nice for us here. I won't lie, that's actually really good. With our Dynamax form, we take pretty much any physical hit we want pretty easily. We actually chew most hits. And with the webs up, we don't really need the agility speed boost. We won't outspeed on Pheasant, Flygon, or Rotom if they're running any speed for us. But everything else on his team, we will outspeed with the webs up, and we'll be able to throw off big +2 liquidations, X-Scissors, and knockoffs. This isn't necessarily a win con, it's more so to just break through our opponent and hopefully do well there. I'm hoping to mostly win the game with our Hacksters, with how strong it is in this matchup. But yeah, that's going to be Kingler. Hope it does pretty well this week. It's looking like it's pretty prime to really punch all through our opponent's team. If we can chip down that Rotom, that's obviously amazing for the rest of our threats in the back as well, because that thing is annoying versus us. It's another really good pivot into Avalok, actually. So hopefully we can chip that thing down. Next up, we have our Araquanid, rocking out with the Chardy Berry, Water Bubble ability, Sticky Web, Leech Life, Liquidation, and Mirror Coat. 244 HP, 52 attack, 92 defense, and 120 Spadef with an Impish Nature. Now this thing is a great check to a lot of things on his team. It's a great check to the Mamoswine especially, which is really scary versus us. It's a decent check to the Flygon, which is nice. We can pretty much always show a hit from Mimikyu, which is great. We have enough HP plus Spadef to always live a Timid Specs Thunderbolt from Rotom. Something I can do leading off is I can lead off with the Araquanid, and if he leads off with the Rotom, goes for the Volt Switch, we're not going to take too much from it if he's not offensive, and we can throw off a big Mirror Coat and knock something out. Unless he pivots into the Pangoro, something's going to take a lot of damage. Besides maybe the Bronzong. Bronzong can probably chew it as well, but what we can do is we can always just set up our webs in that thing's face and like probably beat a 1v1 at that point after it takes the Mirror Coat chip, so I'm not too worried about that. Our, what do you call it? What's the rest of our EVs for? Oh, our attack lets us OHKO a no HP Memo, which is obviously really nice for us. Guaranteed OHKO it after rocks pretty much every time, no matter what his spread is. So that's obviously really nice. And then we threw the rest into, what do you call it, into defense, just so we can take those physical hits from stuff like Mamoswine a little bit better. Stuff like Pangoro, locking into a fighting move, stuff like that. So I figured Araquanid is a pretty nice mon in this matchup to take a hit and be able to throw off some big hits ourselves, and then getting up those Sticky Webs is especially important. He has those 4 mons off the ground, I guess, but the rest of his team, it's really nice to get them slower, especially the Toxtricity, making sure that our Kingler outspeeds it, the Mamoswine, the Rillaboom, all stuff like that, stuff that Kingler really does appreciate being slower in this matchup, so hopefully Araquanid can do that for us. Next up, we have our Gengar, rocking out with the Kasib Berry, Cursed Body ability, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Focus Blast, and Destiny Bond. 60 HP, max special attack, 16 defense, and 180 speed with a Timid Nature. Now, this mon is a really good breakthrough in this game as well, especially, again, we get up webs. This team does not appreciate switching into the dual stats plus Focus Blast of Gengar at all. At all. This does actually phenomenally versus my opponent. We have the Kasib Berry for Shadow Sneak on the Mimikyu. I believe we take, let me see. Sorry. With Gengar, we take a +2 Jolly Life Orb Shadow Sneak, which is really nice. The fact that we can eat that hit. Obviously, because like if he tries to set up on Gengar's face, which is something I don't want to allow it to do, like ever versus anything, I want to be able to Shadow Ball that thing, break its disguise, and obviously knock out the next turn. Well, hopefully being able to live that +2 Sneak. If he's not Life Orb, we live it from a pretty decent amount of health, so we can even, you know, take a little bit of chip from rocks and stuff like that, worst comes to worst, and still live that hit, which is obviously super nice. Then we have max special attack. We have enough speed for Flygon, which is obviously really nice if he's not a Scarf set, and I don't think Scarf is the best versus me. I think Dragon Dance is much better, or Mixed Life Orb is really good as well, with Fire Blast for the Avalugg. So I think that Gengar can potentially be very, very good in this game as well, just throwing off big hits. Late game, he does not appreciate switching into it. It claims like once we get to like the mid game point, it honestly claims a kill every time it comes in, which is pretty big. So I think that's really good here for Gengar, obviously. So we have that speed. Max Special Attack, the HP lets us live that +2 sneak, and then the rest was thrown into Spadef. Next up, we have our Galarian Stunfisk, rocking out with the leftovers, Mimicry ability, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Foul Play, and Stealth Rock. 244 HP, 96 attack, 92 defense, and 76 Spadef with a careful nature. Now, if you look at the team that we have so far, it's pretty well suited to take on John Starts. However, everything besides the Toxtricity, we do not deal with the Toxtricity well with the 6 that we have right here. I mean, the 5 that we have right here. So that's what Stunfisk is here for. It also gives us a Rocker, which is really nice. Our investment lets us take... we're not 3 KO by Modest Life or Toxtricity after Rock with Boomburst, which is obviously really, really nice. If he's a more physical base, that's fine. We do take a +1, like Shift Gear Fire Punch pretty easily, as long as we stay decently healthy. I think we take that Life Orb Boomburst into Life Orb Fire Punch very easily as well, so hopefully, I don't know about very easily, I actually didn't calc that, but I'm assuming it does if my head calcs don't suck. So we should be able to take that. We have enough speed, enough defense to take a +2 Adamant Drain Punch. Adamant, is it Life Orb? I think it's just Adamant Drain Punch after Rocks from Mimikyu, which is obviously really nice as well. Worst comes to worst, taking a hit from that can be very, very nice. And then we threw the rest into attack just to not be as weak as we honestly are, because basically one attack really isn't it. Foul Play is nice for setup things, stuff like his, what do you call it? I guess the way to hit Bronzong, it's nice for his Unfezant, which we don't really touch otherwise. I mean, Stone Edge is nice for it. Just Foul Play is nice mostly for that Bronzong, so we're not just complete fodder for it, which is can be pretty annoying. To be completely honest. So we can take on a special Bronzong actually very well with Foul Play. So that's going to be the team. I actually really like it. I think Haxorus and Gengar have a phenomenal matchup offensively, so if we can facilitate and put those two in a position to really just break through my opponent's team in the end game, I think we should be okay. We don't necessarily have a ginormous win con this game, like a setup win con. I guess the closest thing you could say to it would be Kingler, but I mean, even then, it's more so used as a breaker in this matchup. But who knows? Kingler could do it too, depending on what happens in the end game. I think we have definitely a few outs here, and I'm hoping it's a good game. Really excited to play John. Again, he's a good friend of mine. Definitely go check him out if you haven't done so already. But yeah, I will see you guys with the battle tomorrow. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to drop a like. If you're new, be sure to sub so you can catch the battle as it goes up. Thank you guys so much for watching, but I think I'm going to get out of here. Later.